I am in a fake marriage with Leo, the movie star, in front of others. He acts like he loves me to death, even getting into fights with other men over me. But behind the scenes, he despises me, keeping a beautiful mistress on the side. He wears a wedding ring with her and calls her his sweet wife. Even his brothers call that girl sister-in-law. I don't cry or make a scene. I simply delete the old messages where he once promised to love me forever. We were each other's first love, entangled for many years, until I got sick and slowly started to forget everything about him. That's when he began to panic. He put all his effort into creating romantic surprises for me, trying everything he could to make me better, but all he could do was watch as I fell in love with someone else. Chapter 1. In the 7th year of my love-hate relationship with Leo, he met a woman he truly liked. That girl's name was Sophia, a fresh graduate and an up-and-coming actress. Innocent and adorable, her smile looked exactly like mine when I was younger. My friends all said that Sophia was just a stand-in for me. Leo probably just found her new and exciting, just playing around. After all, Leo and I had been breaking up and getting back together for years. Everyone watched as that proud man smiled for me, cried for me, and broke his hard, unyielding spirit for me. Everyone knew that he loved me, so much that he couldn't live without me. Suddenly, I remembered that night when we broke up and made up again. Leo tore my dress and relentlessly demanded more. I was left a limp mess. In the haze, I heard him whisper in my ear, coaxing me softly, "Baby, we will torment and tangle with each other for a lifetime." I once thought that Leo would never love another woman the way he loved me. That was until, in the 3rd year of our marriage, our relationship began to fall apart. And that's when Sophia appeared. Chapter 2. At first, Leo disliked Sophia. They were filming in the same crew, playing a couple. Sophia was one of Leo's fans, and every time they held hands or hugged, she would blush to the point of burning, unable to hide her feelings. Back then, my relationship with Leo was still good. He would always tell me how he didn't like the way Sophia was always starstruck by him. When Sophia wore cartoon t-shirts, Leo would say she was childish and ridiculous. When Sophia wore hot shorts, Leo would call her tacky and tasteless. No matter what Sophia did, Leo found her annoying. Yet, maybe he didn't even notice it himself. Every time he mentioned Sophia, he was always smiling. During our nightly chats, he gradually started to get distracted. Most of the time, it was because Sophia was too clumsy, constantly pestering Leo with various questions. Leo would complain about her, yet patiently answer her every question. Before hanging up the phone, I asked Leo, "Tomorrow, can we not talk about Sophia anymore?" He grinned mischievously and asked, "Jealous, my good wife?" He teased me as he blocked Sophia's number right in front of me. A few days later, Sophia posted a message on Weibo, a passionate kissing scene, with 2 people deeply moved. "Tonight, I can't sleep. I'll be chatting all night with someone I like." That night, Leo didn't come to me. I called him, but the line was busy. I thought, this time, Leo might have actually developed real feelings for Sophia. Chapter 3. After that night, it seemed like Leo suddenly stopped loving me. We began a cold war. He didn't explain, and he didn't try to comfort me. For a whole month, neither of us spoke to the other, until the last day of filming. During a live interview with the crew, the reporter asked him, "Now that the work is finished, what do you want to do the most?" He opened his phone and showed a picture of me in an apron, playfully teasing him, and smiled softly as he said, "I miss my wife. I want to eat the food my wife makes." In a way, Leo is like my financial backer. If he doesn't love me anymore, I'll just hide my feelings and follow his lead. Making more money isn't so bad. That night, I cooked a big dinner, but Leo didn't come home. I didn't wait for him and went to bed early. In the middle of the night, he called me. He seemed drunk, mumbling and whining, "Wifey, sweet wifey, I miss you so much. Come pick me up and take me home." It had been a long time since he called me wifey. My eyes welled up, but I stayed silent. His friends were laughing in the background. "Who's the big superstar calling? Is it Sophia?" They yelled into the phone. "Sister-in-law, today Leo made a wish to be with you forever, together for all time." So, Leo had called Sophia. He called her sweet wifey, and his friends called her sister-in-law. He had already brought Sophia into his life. Suddenly, I felt a terrible headache. I hung up abruptly and buried myself in the blankets, wrapping myself tightly. It's fine. I can pretend not to care. I've always been a good actress. Chapter 4. The rumors about the problems between Leo and me spread quickly. People in our circle said he had fallen in love with Sophia. He took her out for candlelit dinners, bought her a house and a car, and sometimes even rented out entire amusement parks to take her on childish carousel rides. He adored her, so much that he wanted to give her all the good things in the world. Even the ruby necklace I had wanted for so long but could never get was recently purchased by Leo. I thought he would give it to Sophia, but one morning, when I opened my eyes, I saw the necklace quietly lying on my bedside table. Next to it was a note, which read, "Happy Anniversary." It was Leo's handwriting. Silently, I crumpled the note and threw it in the trash. I no longer understood Leo's intentions, nor did I want to. Chapter 5. A few days later, at a private dinner party, I met Sophia for the first time. She smiled the moment she saw me, gazing at my necklace. She said in a soft voice, "A few days ago, Leo bought me a bunch of jewelry. This necklace felt a bit too old for me, so I told him to give it to you. I just knew, Elena, that it would suit you better since you're more mature than I am. Leo always says he spoils me like a little kid, but I didn't believe him. I mean, I'm already 22. But compared to you, Elena, I suddenly feel like maybe I am a bit too young." I was stunned for a moment and suddenly felt ridiculous. The anniversary gift I had cherished so much turned out to be something Sophia didn't want. Seeing my displeasure, Sophia's smile grew even sweeter. She flipped her hair and continued to brag. "Elena, you don't have to be shy about wearing the necklace I gave you. Go ahead. Wear it proudly. Leo buys me so many things. I can't wear them all. If there's anything else you like, just let me know. You can have it." I smiled along with her and asked softly, "If I like something, you'll give it to me?" Sophia nodded proudly. I reached out, touched her sparkling diamond earring, and suddenly yanked it off. Sophia screamed in pain, clutching her ear and bending over as blood seeped through her fingers. I lowered my eyes, looking down at her while still smiling, and asked softly, "Thank you for your gift. Can I have the other earring too?" Chapter 6. Sophia's pupils trembled slightly. It seemed like she was a little afraid of me. Her blood splattered across the floor, and the crowd around us began to stir. Leo arrived shortly after. When he saw the blood on the ground, his expression instantly turned cold and fierce. He pulled me into his arms, inspecting me from head to toe. The concern and anxiety in his eyes looked so real. Sophia let go of her ear, allowing the blood to drip down, staining her white dress. She reached out to tug on Leo's arm, softly saying, "It hurts so much." Leo raised his arm, avoiding her touch, and glanced at her with a cold, indifferent look. That look left Sophia standing there in shock, biting her lip with embarrassment. She didn't understand. Leo came from a powerful family, and while having a mistress in private was one thing, bringing it out in public was humiliating. In front of others, Leo could only love me. His fingers brushed over my furrowed brow as he gently coaxed. "Who upset you?" I didn't speak, and no one else dared to either. 2 seconds later, Leo suddenly grabbed a vase from the table and smashed it on the floor, shouting harshly, "Are you all fucking deaf? Who upset my wife? Speak up!" The atmosphere was suffocating. Sophia clenched her fists and finally broke down, shouting, "It was me! It was me! Blame me! Okay? Leo!" She couldn't hold it in any longer. With tears streaming down her face, she stubbornly stared at Leo, her voice trembling. "Blame me for trying to get close to Elena and being hated by her. Blame me for falling for someone I shouldn't have. For being willing to be called a mistress just to be with him. Blame me for being delusional, thinking he liked me back. Blame me for being a fool." She lifted the wine glass in her hand over her head and poured it down, the wine mixing with her blood, staining the fabric over her chest. As she cried, she asked Leo, "Leo, is this enough? Is your beloved wife satisfied now?" Leo's hand gripped my shoulder, squeezing harder and harder. Maybe he was feeling sorry for me. He asked, "Do you feel better now?" I almost burst into laughter, my eyes nearly tearing up. I asked Leo, "Isn't it exhausting pretending to love me?" "Leo, I have a great solution that will allow you to love whoever you want. No strings attached. Give me money, a lot of money, and then we'll get divorced." Leo's gaze grew colder. He lowered his head, leaning in close to my ear, and spat out harshly, "Elena, I should have realized sooner. You're just a gold-digging fraud. You'll never die a peaceful death after betraying someone's true feelings." I chuckled, ignoring the throbbing pain in my head, and pushed him away before turning to leave. "Leo, you really are a jinx. I haven't even told you yet. The doctor says there's something wrong with my brain. It might cause pain. It might make me lose my memory. Or it might kill me." Chapter 7. Leo was right. In the beginning, I accepted his pursuit purely for his money. Before him, I had once been madly in love with another boy. Leo knew all about it, yet he still tried desperately to win me over, insisting on being with me. From dating to marriage, I still remember that rainy day when Leo proposed to me. The two of us curled up on the couch watching a romantic movie. He suddenly leaned close to my ear, whispering, "Elena, if you just say you love me, I'll marry you right away, and all my money will be yours to manage." My heart was pounding in my ears. The words "I love you" were on the tip of my tongue, but I wasn't satisfied. Who proposes so casually? I shook my head and teased him on purpose. Back then, Leo was shameless and thick-skinned. I don't know where he pulled out a massive diamond ring from, but he grabbed my hand and slipped it on. I tried to escape, but he firmly grabbed my neck and pushed me down onto the couch. Biting my ear, he growled, "Keep being stubborn, and I'll strangle you." That day, Leo's kiss almost melted me. Underneath him, I pleaded for mercy, saying over and over, "Leo, I love you." Back then, I truly loved you, but it seems you never really believed me. Chapter 8. My illness worsened day by day. No matter how many handfuls of pills I swallowed, the headaches were so severe that I couldn't eat or sleep properly. Soon, I realized I was starting to forget small things about Leo. My body kept deteriorating, and the doctor prescribed me even more medication. As I was leaving, he frowned and asked, "Why are you always coming to these appointments alone? Where's your family? You need family support to manage your illness." But what if I don't have any family? When I was 6 years old, my mom left me on the street. She said she was going to buy me candy. And then, she never came back. I thought I would never see my mom again in this lifetime, until the day I ran into Sophia at the hospital. Her swollen ear, the one I had torn, was bandaged as she came to get it treated. Standing beside her was a middle-aged woman. I almost thought my eyes were playing tricks on me. That woman looked like my mother. I couldn't control myself and ran towards her. Sophia, frightened, took 2 steps back. My mother shielded her and shoved me hard, pointing at me, yelling angrily, "You wretched girl, are you trying to bully my daughter again?" She suddenly grabbed my hair and shouted, "How dare you touch my daughter? I'll kill you!" She slapped me across the face. I didn't have time to dodge, and blood seeped from the corner of my mouth as tears streamed down my face. It seemed my mother didn't recognize me. She had long since forgotten about me. She had another daughter now, and that daughter was Sophia. Chapter 9. When I was 13, I once ran into my mom by chance while collecting plastic bottles on the street. She was on the other side of the road, holding Sophia's hand, chatting and laughing warmly. I mustered all the strength I had and ran towards her, shouting, "Mom, I'm here. Mom, don't go." She stopped in her tracks and slowly turned around, looking at me with a surprised expression. Sophia tugged at her sleeve, sneering, "Mom, it's a beggar, so dirty." We were both her children, but Sophia was wearing a beautiful little dress, holding a cute stuffed bear, and I was in ragged, torn clothes and a pair of filthy, worn-out shoes. I envied her so much. I quietly protested, "I'm not a beggar. I'm your sister." I reached out my hand, forcing an awkward smile, and called her, "Sister." Suddenly, Sophia started crying. She hid behind my mom, screaming, "Mom, get rid of her. She's trying to steal my teddy bear." It finally dawned on my mom, and she roughly shoved me to the ground. Just like now. She pointed at me and cursed. "Where did this wild child come from? You scared my baby. I'll beat you to death." No, Mom. I'm not a wild child. I'm your daughter, too. The daughter you abandoned. Chapter 10. I didn't cry out for my mother like I did when I was 13. Screaming, "Mom, I'm your daughter." Instead, I pushed her away just as she had once pushed me. She took the opportunity to rip off my mask and fell to the ground, crying and shouting. "The big celebrity hit me. Elena hit me." Sophia froze for a couple of seconds, then suddenly took off her own mask, dropping to her knees in front of me, pleading, "Elena, I know you've never liked me. You're more famous than I am, and I've tolerated it when you hit and scolded me. But my mom is old. Please don't make things harder for her." Many people around us started filming the scene on their phones. Sophia was putting on quite the show. I should have protected my reputation, covered my face, and left immediately, but I couldn't control myself. I grabbed Sophia's hair. Looking into her eyes, I coldly said, "You're such a dutiful daughter, aren't you, little sister? Well then, I won't hold back. I'll give you exactly what your mom gave me." I swung my bag at Sophia's face, hitting her again and again. My heart ached so much. If I didn't let it out, I probably would have jumped off a building. How can life be this painful? My mom rushed at me, tearing at my clothes. Maybe when she finds out that I'm the daughter she abandoned, she'll never forgive me. But it doesn't matter anymore. Mom, you didn't want me, and now I don't want you either. Chapter 11. The video of me hitting Sophia spread quickly online. People flooded into my social media, hurling insults. "Are you jealous that Sophia is younger and prettier than you? You hit her so hard in the face. Someone needs to investigate Elena's family. I bet she's been a spoiled bully all her life, brought up by her rich parents." Sophia, don't cry. I know where Elena lives. I'll get revenge for you. I saw this comment while I was in the underground parking lot, just after parking my car and getting ready to go home. Suddenly, I heard someone call out to me, "Excuse me, are you Elena?" I turned around and saw a man holding a baseball bat, his expression fierce as he swung it toward me. Before I could react, someone pulled me into their arms. Leo held me tight as the bat landed with a brutal thud on his back. He turned around and kicked the man to the ground, shouting furiously, "If you touch my wife, I'll kill you." Leo was like a madman, beating the guy without restraint. For a moment, I almost forgot that we were getting a divorce. I almost believed he still loved me, but I've already forgotten what it feels like to be loved by Leo. Chapter 12. Leo hadn't come home in a long time. He came to see me because of Sophia. The house was a mess. I had been dealing with constant headaches every day and didn't have the energy to clean. Leo rolled up his sleeves and started tidying up. He picked up the bra I had thrown on the couch and smirked. "Elena, you're really not cut out to be a wife. You should really learn from Sophia how to take care of people. She's so sweet. How could you bring yourself to hit her? Just apologize to her. She cries every day, and it breaks my heart to see her like that." Yeah. Because Sophia is sweet. That's why Mom loved her so much. Because Sophia is sweet. That's why Leo fell in love with her too. But what about me? Just because I'm not sweet, does that mean I deserve to be abandoned by everyone? Over and over again? I suddenly felt a surge of anger and threw all the clothes Leo had just folded onto the floor. I looked up at him and shouted, "If you want me to apologize to her, you might as well just stab me to death." Leo leaned back on the couch, pulling me into his arms and holding my waist so I couldn't escape. He smirked and said, "I knew you wouldn't listen. You've never been any good." He pulled out his phone and made a call, telling the film festival committee to remove me from the Best Actress nominations for the end of the year. I've been in the industry for 10 years, nominated for Best Actress 3 times, always a runner-up. This year was finally my year. I was certain I would win the award. I had even fallen down a hill, splitting my forehead open, but I still insisted on not using a stunt double to finish the film. That golden trophy was something I earned with my blood, sweat, and life. I knocked Leo's phone out of his hand, a tear dropping onto my arm as I shouted at him. "Don't be so disgusting, Leo!" He remained calm, resting his chin on my shoulder, smiling as he asked, "Do you want to apologize? Think carefully before you answer." I couldn't hold it in any longer and burst into tears. I screamed at him, "Leo, I'm sick. I'll never be able to act again. I'll never have another chance to win an award. You love Sophia. You want to take it out on me, and you know exactly where to hurt me. But I won't give her the satisfaction. I won't apologize. It's just a trophy, right? I don't need it." My face was drenched in tears, and my heart was overflowing with grief. I grabbed Leo's hand and bit down hard. He frowned, but silently endured it. When I finally cried enough and looked up, I saw that Leo's eyes were red too. He held my face in his hands and whispered, "Elena, it's not so much that I love Sophia, but that I hate you. I used to love you to death, but all you ever loved was my money. You used my money to take care of another man. You're really something. But if anyone's to blame, it's me for being weak. I knew how good you were at playing the victim. Yet I still fell for it. I still softened. Stop crying. It's just a trophy, right? You can have it." He pulled me into his arms and kissed my ear. It felt like a final farewell as he slowly said, "Elena, this is the last time I'll be good to you. But this time, Leo lied to me." Chapter 13. On the day of the award ceremony, I wore the most glamorous dress and the most expensive jewelry, hoping to take a final bow in style. But then the host on stage announced, "The Best Actress award goes to Sophia." As I lifted my gown to stand up, the media captured the moment, turning it into a joke. Sophia held the gleaming golden trophy and smiled sweetly at Leo, saying, "The person I like promised me that if I won the trophy tonight, he'd come home with me to meet my mom. Mom's at home making dumplings, waiting for us to come back and eat together. She's so happy. She has everything I've ever wanted. A mother, Leo, and that trophy, which I can never win." Leo leaned close to my ear, his smile full of malice. He asked me, "Elena, how does it feel to be deceived?" He was taking revenge on me. He never believed me. He didn't believe me when I said I loved him, nor did he believe me when I said I was sick. My headache returned. As I looked at Leo for the last time, he began to blur in my eyes, in my heart, and in my memory. I clutched my chest and whispered, "Being deceived, it hurts so much." Then I blinked and asked him, "But, who are you?" Chapter 14. I fainted at the award ceremony. When I woke up, I was in the hospital, and my agent Rebecca was arguing with Leo. She pointed at me, her eyes glaring fiercely at Leo, who was sitting on the couch, and demanded, "What did Elena ever do to you to make you hurt her like this?" Leo threw a stack of photos at her. In the pictures, I was in another man's arms. Rebecca froze for a moment, and Leo smiled bitterly as he asked, "Why aren't you saying anything? Feeling guilty?" When Elena was hugging and cuddling with another man behind my back, did she ever think about how she was hurting me? When she used my money to send that man abroad for school, did she ever think about how she was hurting me? Rebecca cut him off. "Why didn't you ask Elena directly about these things?" Leo let out a cold laugh and gritted his teeth, saying, "From dating to marriage, I chased after her like a dog. Apologizing? I had to do it first. Making up? I had to do it first. Now that she's cheating, should I be the one to ask her, 'Why don't you love me anymore?' Is it because I wasn't good enough? Am I really that pathetic? I'm Leo. I don't lack women. There are plenty who sweet-talk me. But the first person who dared to deceive me was Elena. She deserves to die." Before Leo could finish, someone suddenly pushed open the door, stormed in, and punched him in the face. The man flexed his wrist, looked down at Leo, and calmly said, "Let me introduce myself. I'm Bruno, the first man Elena ever loved." Chapter 15. Leo instantly recognized Bruno as the man in the photo, the one holding me. He was also the person I had paid for to study abroad. In a blink of an eye, the two men in suits were throwing punches at each other. Rebecca, panicking, shouted. Leo. Enough. Bruno is Elena's attending doctor. He was holding her because the day Elena found out she was sick. She was terrified. She cried and called you. But because of the argument the day before, you hung up on her when she needed you the most. Where were you? What right do you have to be angry now? Leo froze for a moment, and in that split second of hesitation, Bruno kicked him to the ground. Leo sat there, defeated, muttering to himself, "When did Elena ever call me?" He didn't know I called because that day, it was Sophia who answered his phone. I was crying, completely broken, just wanting Leo to come home and be with me. But instead, I heard Sophia's voice laughing at me. "Sick? You deserve it." She hung up, and I stared at the phone for a long time, not daring to call again. Leo used to be very private about his phone. I was the only one allowed to touch it. But later, Sophia could play with it whenever she wanted. I knew then that I was no longer Leo's only one. He had let someone else into our love, and I couldn't forgive that. From that day, I began to quietly prepare my plan for revenge. Chapter 16. The first thing I did when I woke up was grab Bruno by the hem of his shirt. Frowning, I scolded him angrily. "Bruno, you thug. Why are you fighting again?" Bruno and I grew up together in an orphanage. We were childhood friends. He had always been the kid who fought the most in the orphanage, and 9 times out of 10, the reason for those fights was me. Bruno's fists were bruised, and I asked him, "Does it hurt?" Leo stepped forward and grabbed my wrist, pulling my hand away from Bruno's shirt. He smiled coldly, looking at me with barely contained anger, and asked, "Elena, who are you worried about? Your man is right here." I looked at him, slowly pulling my hand back, and asked, "Am I married?" Leo's expression changed. He placed his hand on my head, ruffling my hair, and said with a smile, "Stop playing games, Elena. Are you still trying to pull those tricks you learned at the orphanage?" "No, I haven't had enough yet. Not by a long shot. After all, I'm Elena, the schemer with a belly full of bad ideas." Chapter 17. Rebecca threw my medical report at Leo. My illness causes me to selectively forget certain people and certain events. Leo couldn't accept that I remembered Rebecca, remembered Bruno, and remembered many insignificant things and people, but I couldn't remember anything about him. He didn't believe that I was truly sick. He gathered countless expert teams to run tests on me, but the results always left him disappointed. He spent entire nights sitting by my bedside. Sometimes, I would hear him crying. When I opened my eyes, I saw him sitting on the couch, holding my diary. In that diary, I had written about how Leo fell out of love with me. March 20th, 2023. Bruno's first thing after returning to the country was to call me for a medical checkup. When I was younger, I always had headaches. Bruno said that when he became a doctor, he would cure my headaches. He finally succeeded, and I'm happy for him. But it's so annoying. I'm really afraid I might be seriously ill. I'm not afraid of dying, but I'm worried about Leo. He's so clingy, he'll definitely cry if something happens to me. That would break my heart. March 23rd, 2023. I got my test results today, and they weren't good. Sigh. I said I wasn't scared, but I still broke down and called Leo in tears. The one who answered the phone was the lead actress from his new movie. I think her name is Sophia. She looks sweet but has a sharp tongue. She said I deserve to be sick. She must like Leo, which is why she hates me. March 24th, 2023. I asked Leo how it was filming with Sophia. He listed a whole bunch of Sophia's flaws. He's been paying such close attention to her. He knows she likes Sailor Moon, likes drinking milk tea, and likes wearing short shorts with black stockings. I got a little upset. It seems like Leo has started to like Sophia, but he doesn't even realize it. I hope I'm just overthinking things. March 26th, 2023. Today I had some really good spicy fish. Leo loves spicy food, so I told him I'd take him to try it when he gets home. But then he suddenly brought up Sophia again. He said he also had spicy fish for lunch, and when Sophia saw it, she asked him if it was spicy. He deliberately said it wasn't and gave her a piece to try. It made her cry from the heat. and he found it hilarious. Is it really that funny? Then why does it make me so sad? April 3rd, 2023. Leo's been calling me these past few days, but I haven't answered. April 4th, 2023. I went to the hospital for treatment today when the pain was unbearable. Bruno stayed with me, but I couldn't help it. I thought of Leo. Later that evening, I saw Sophia's post on social media. She said she kissed Leo. Apparently, they're going to stay up talking all night. I called Leo, and sure enough, the line was busy. I wanted to tell him today about my illness, but forget it. His heart isn't with me anymore. April 28th, 2023. He hasn't reached out to me, and I haven't reached out to him. That's fine. From now on, I'll just treat him as an ATM and make do with life. May 8th, 2023. Leo finished filming, and he said he missed his wife and wanted to eat the food she cooks. But I can't even remember what his favorite dish is anymore. Lately, it feels like everything about Leo in my mind is being slowly erased with an eraser. I looked through our chat history and saw that he likes spicy food, especially spicy fish. I followed a recipe to make it for him, and I even burned my hand. But Leo didn't come home that night. He called me in the middle of the night, thinking I was Sophia. He kept calling me honey, and his friends in the background were jokingly calling Sophia's sister-in-law. So, the person he really wanted was Sophia, the one whose food he craved. I'm so tired of this. I don't want him anymore. Chapter 18. Leo closed the diary and saw that I was awake. He smiled softly. He looked scruffy with his unshaven beard. It didn't suit him at all. I advised him, "Don't come tomorrow. Our relationship isn't good. So there's no need for you to act like you love me. You like Sophia, right? Get ready for a divorce. I'll step aside for her." Leo grabbed my face and shook it a little, visibly upset as he retorted, "Who said I like Sophia? Leo, only love Elena. Remember that. I was just trying to make you mad. Seeing you hugging Bruno made me lose it. Before I got together with Leo, I had already told him I had someone I liked. Leo said it didn't matter. He was just there to give me money because I needed it. He told me to treat him like a benefactor, a very generous and caring one. Later, Bruno got a chance for an overseas exchange program, and that was the first time I shamelessly asked Leo for money. He agreed so easily, without even asking what I needed the money for. But recently, he dug into that old photo of me and Bruno hugging and uncovered our entire past. In truth, we were just two orphans who depended on each other. If you had to say there was something more, maybe it was that I once loved Bruno, and he told me I deserved someone better. Leo, now apologizing profusely, said, "It's my fault. I blamed you without understanding the situation. Please, let's not get a divorce. I'll find someone to cure you. I swear, when you remember everything, you can hit me, yell at me, whatever you want, but just one thing. Elena, you can't forget me. Don't forget me. I'm begging you." His eyes were red, and he looked genuinely pitiful. I suddenly laughed and asked him, "Even though I don't remember you, Leo, I think it's not that you didn't understand, but rather, you never truly believed in me. Because I'm an orphan. I grew up in an orphanage. I had no one to guide me, no one to teach me. So, while you loved me, you also looked down on me, thinking I was born lowly and dirty." Leo's expression turned painful, and he tried to deny it, but I just stared at the ceiling, calmly telling him, "Leo, things that can be forgotten aren't important. I don't want you anymore." Chapter 19. When I said I wanted a divorce, Leo treated it as if I were just throwing a childish tantrum. He took me to my favorite restaurant, walked with me down the shaded paths we used to love, and recounted, over and over, the little things from the past when I loved him. And he loved me, but I still couldn't remember anything. One summer evening, Leo took me to the park we used to frequent, choosing a quiet spot to sit and cool off. He opened a bottle of cold soda and handed it to me, smiling as he said, "Your favorite, lemon flavor." I didn't take it. I shrugged and said, "I don't like lemon anymore, and I don't like this place either." He froze for a moment, his expression a little sad, then carefully asked, "So, what do you like now?" I'll get it for you next time. I looked down at my phone. It was getting late. Bruno was coming to pick me up for a concert. He was walking from the end of the shaded path, waving at me with my favorite strawberry soda in his hand. Leo's brows immediately furrowed. When I stood up, he grabbed my arm, refusing to let me leave. Don't go, Elena. Don't go with him. It was as if those were the only words he knew how to say anymore. I warned him. Leo, you can't interfere with my personal freedom. I said I want a divorce. And you don't want to hear it. You say that every time you close your eyes, you can see all the beautiful memories we shared. But I don't remember those memories. You shouldn't use your memories to tie me down. I'm moving on with a life that doesn't include you. And besides, not all of those memories were beautiful. I pried Leo's fingers off me. He looked as panicked as a child afraid of being abandoned. Following behind me, step by step. Bruno didn't even glance at him. He just lifted a small pink fan and blew cool air over my sweaty bangs and nose, knowing that I hated the heat. When Leo saw the concert tickets in Bruno's hand, he tried to stop me again. Elena, that band is too loud. You won't be able to handle it. Let's not go, okay? I'll play the piano for you instead. Bruno wasn't having it. He suddenly snapped, shoving Leo aside and angrily shouting, "Stop pretending to be some romantic hero. You don't know a damn thing. You think everything she liked was just what you liked. Let me tell you, she hates quiet. She hates summer. She hates the heat. She hates the park. She hates lemons. And she hates the piano. And now, she hates you too." Chapter 20. That night, I sang along loudly with my favorite band, Goodbye, Youth. The next morning, I woke up to find myself trending online. The hashtag Elena marital affair was sitting at the top. In the marketing account's video, I was holding a beer, with Bruno's arm around my shoulder. Sophia subtly posted a cryptic tweet, throwing shade at me. So dirty. She attached a picture of a rotting cabbage with the words, "A woman who doesn't respect herself is like rotten cabbage." Leo quickly followed up with some gifs, all of them showing my profile from last night's concert, taken from a distance. In every single one, I was smiling, looking so free. He wrote, "It's a misunderstanding. I was there last night too. First time accompanying my wife to a concert. She was so happy, like a bunny that found strawberries, hopping around. So adorable. I just realized she loves the crowd, loves singing, loves laughing out loud with people. From now on, I want to go to concerts with her again. Okay? Wife, from now on, I'll love the things you love." I had no idea Leo was behind me all last night. He tagged me, waiting for an answer. I didn't reply. The public opinion immediately flipped. The netizens flooded Sophia's social media, attacking her. The empire has fallen. Sis, take off your foot-binding cloth and go wash it. Normal friends. Getting excited at a concert, throwing an arm around someone's shoulder, suddenly makes her rotten cabbage? And what about all those behind-the-scenes clips from the set, where you were all over Leo, touching him constantly? Sis, that's workplace harassment. No? This woman not only stole Elena's award, but she came into the industry riding Elena's coattails, constantly making announcements about her youth and beauty, shading Elena for being older. Pretentious coquette. Are Elena's fans stupid or something? Have they forgotten how your idol bullied our dear Sophia, calling her rotten cabbage? If it were me, I'd throw acid at her. Chapter 21. At noon, I posted a long essay. I explained in detail my relationship with Bruno. I started by talking about how I grew up as an orphan, how Bruno used to protect me, how my mom abandoned me, how my mom kept pushing me away because of Sophia, and why I lost control and hit Sophia. I attached an old, faded photograph. In it, my mom was holding me. Neither of us was smiling. Sophia had taken my mom to a reality show once, and some sharp-eyed netizens had compared the photos, discovering that her mother was, in fact, my mother. The internet exploded. People flooded Sophia's social media, calling her mother a legal case waiting to happen. Sophia quickly deactivated her account. 2 days later, my mom posted a long statement on her own social media, admitting that she did have a daughter once, a girl who got lost because she had been too careless while playing. She claimed that after losing her daughter, she cried every day and many times thought about taking her own life because of guilt. Sophia's birth, she said, had given her the will to live. Sophia was the purest angel, her most precious treasure. As for me, if I was indeed her daughter, she had never imagined I'd grow up to be someone so full of lies. She said she was deeply sorry and heartbroken, blaming herself for failing as a mother. If I wasn't her daughter, she begged me to tell her where I had gotten the photo. She missed her child. She wanted to hold her and say, "I'm sorry. I came too late." I quietly turned off my phone. So fake. So disgusting. Honestly, the fact that my mom abandoned me is something that happened far too long ago. Punishing her legally is nearly impossible, but that's okay. Leo is desperate to win me back. He'll take care of everyone I despise. Chapter 22. In the following days, negative stories about Sophia started flooding the internet. Rumors spread that she had slept with company executives before debuting, insulted her fans behind their backs, calling them stupid, and had affairs with many male actors while pretending to be their on-screen wives. Her mother, meanwhile, was taken away for investigation due to her involvement in illegal gambling. Sophia's mother called me, her voice trembling, as she pleaded, "Baby, please, save your mother. Tell your husband to help me." I tried calling Sophia, but she's not picking up. "I've been looking for you for so many years, and I finally found you. I haven't even had the chance to treat you well yet. I miss you so much." "Don't you miss me? You can't just leave me to die like this. I'm your mother." I quietly listened to her wailing on the other end of the phone. Then, in a soft voice, I replied, "Mom, your daughter is already dead. You should follow her to hell and stay with your daughter there." I smiled as I hung up the phone. Leo was leaning against the sofa, closing the book in his hands. He asked me, "Feeling happy?" He tried to mask his feelings with a calm demeanor, but the anxiety in his eyes betrayed him. Like a little dog desperate for praise, he pulled me to sit next to him, resting his tired head on my shoulder. His voice, tinged with a hint of pleading, whispered, "Elena, I'll treat you so well that you'll fall in love with me all over again, okay? Don't leave me, and please don't fall for someone else." Chapter 23. 3 months passed quickly, and Leo still pretended not to hear me whenever I brought up divorce. The good news was that my illness had finally stabilized. I had treatments once a month, and those days were always the most exhausting. Leo would drive me to the hospital, where Bruno would be waiting at the entrance. He would open the car door, help me out, and we'd walk side by side to the elevator. Leo would always catch up, skillfully positioning himself between us. Both men would take turns talking, each trying to outdo the other, making sure not to miss a single word. The noise would drive me mad, and I'd wish I could slap both of them. So, I pulled out a piece of candy from my pocket and shoved it into Bruno's mouth, effectively silencing him. Bruno, triumphant, bit into the candy and grinned at Leo, showing off his victory. Leo tugged at my sleeve, sulking a little as he asked, "Got more?" "I want some too." Honestly, I had plenty left. I turned around and smiled apologetically. "They're all for Bruno. He's got several surgeries this afternoon, and I'm worried he might get low blood sugar." A flicker of sadness passed through Leo's eyes before he mustered a weak smile. He reached out and playfully messed up my hair. "My wife is still as considerate as ever," he praised. "A wife this good. There's no way I'm letting anyone else have her." "Elena, you'll get better, and so will we." I remained silent. In the confined space of the elevator, that silence felt lonelier than ever. I had been waiting for Leo's patience to run out, for him to finally agree to divorce me willingly. I just hadn't expected that day to come so suddenly. As the elevator doors opened, I saw Sophia charging in, wielding a fruit knife, her hair wild and disheveled, screaming like a madwoman, "You all deserve to die." Sophia's reputation had completely collapsed. Every brand had terminated their contracts with her, and the compensation she owed for breaching them had left her bankrupt. She must have gone insane. Quick on my feet, I pulled Bruno aside just in time to avoid her. Leo was the only one left standing, still trying to shield me. As Sophia's knife plunged into his shoulder, the chaos hit so fast, so hard, that by the time everyone realized what had happened, Leo had already collapsed on the floor. His gaze stayed fixed on me. I saw the light in his eyes, the one that had always believed I love him, flicker out. Chapter 24. Leo and I agreed to the divorce. He gave me a lot of money, and of course, I took all of it. He cheated on me during our marriage, so this was what I deserved. The day I saw him at the civil registry office, he looked completely worn out. I heard that Sophia's stab had hit a crucial spot, leaving his heart severely injured. It'll take him a lifetime to recover. I didn't care. I didn't want to do anything unnecessary. In fact, I was worried he might change his mind and refuse the divorce. Going through a legal battle would be such a hassle, and I wasn't sure I'd get this much money. But he just silently kept his head down, signed the papers, and left his fingerprint. When we parted, Leo seemed to gather the courage to look at me one last time. He tried to smile, but tears fell suddenly from his eyes. His hand clenched the divorce certificate, crumpling it into a ball. I saw him open his mouth as if he wanted to say something, but I didn't want to hear it. I simply waved, said goodbye, and got into Bruno's car. In the rearview mirror, Leo's figure grew smaller and smaller. Bruno laughed and said, "The most ruthless heart is a woman's." I laughed too. I can love someone wholeheartedly, but I can also hate them without mercy. Leo, I have a secret I'll never tell you. My memory loss was all an act.